Today, we are talking about a leadership pressure that I believe every pastor eventually feels, and this may be true of almost every organizational leader, not just pastors. What do you do when what's written on the wall isn't actually happening down the hall? I know that's cute and it rhymes, but I mean, it's a big deal. When you have a mission or a vision or something written on the wall, published, on your website, but it isn't really happening in the organization, in the church, what do you do with that? I bet you have probably felt that exact problem. You've got a mission, right, in a vision statement. Maybe it is framed in the lobby or printed on the website, or I don't know, maybe you have a membership class and you repeat it in there. But when you look around and then you realize, what's happening inside our ministry doesn't actually reflect those statements. That's a gap. It's an important gap. And that's the pressure of, and we're going to talk a lot about this, misalignment. It's the pressure of misalignment. Clarity and communication, they're not the same thing, right? I mean, you can have clarity at the top, but unless it is communicated consistently and contextually, it doesn't trickle down. Therefore, you get a lot of misalignment really quick. So your staff starts pulling in different directions. Ministries compete instead of complement. Programs, they kind of multiply, but without purpose. Leaders start confusing activity for progress. You ever seen that? I mean, the tension though, right? This is, I guess, helpful. It's not a theological problem. It's an organizational tension. It's not that your people don't care either, by the way. It's really that they just don't share a clear compass together. There's misalignment. And you know what? Here's a truth that I have just seen in every consulting engagement, and really, I guess, at every church that I've been in and led and been a part of. When clarity disappears, pressure fills that gap. And there's a few pressures that start filling that gap. The pressure to control, the pressure to overmanage, the pressure to keep people in line, quote unquote, instead of moving forward together. And man, that is exhausting for a leader, for everybody in the church. And by the way, it's also avoidable. The healthiest churches that I've worked with, they really do share one thing, and it's a relentless commitment to clarity. Now, yes, they are also relentlessly committed to Jesus, but every church, theoretically, right, is that. What makes these, thriving churches unique, these healthy churches, what makes them unique is that they're committed to clarity. They're committed to communication. They really anchor everything that they do in their church around 4 alignment statements. Okay, these are 4 simple but powerful declarations that become really the organizational North Star, the church's North Star. 4 statements. So I want to walk through these 4 alignment statements. These aren't going to be brand new, but I want you to really listen to each of these 4 and think about in your context, how are these being communicated? Do we have clarity? I'm going to ask you later a question. If you were to walk around and ask 5 people, would they be able to recite this back to you? Do they even know what it means? Can they describe it? Are they owning it, right? These 4 statements, if you can create them with great clarity and then communicate them consistently across your entire church, you'll be amazed at how quickly things can get aligned. Okay, 4 statements. Here's the first one. Again, not brand new information, but really critical. Number 1, your mission. Your mission is your why we exist. Okay, this is your church's reason for being, and it answers the why question. That really does keep you motivated. So let me give you an example. Your mission could be, we help people find and follow Jesus. That's a mission statement for a church that I'm working with right now. We help people find and follow Jesus. It's the why. Why do you exist? To help people find and follow Jesus. Now, similar to that is our second statement. It's the vision statement. But where the mission statement says why we exist, the vision statement kind of paints a picture of where we're going. Right? Vision, in a way, kind of turns your mission into a picture of this preferred future. Think of it like, what would your church, your community look like if your mission was fully achieved, fully alive? So for instance, a vision statement could be a church where everyone in our community loves like Jesus. I mean, that'd be a pretty powerful thing to happen if every single person who called your church their home loved everyone they're ever eyeball to eyeball with the way Jesus loved them. That'd be pretty powerful. Now, are you ever going to get there? Well, probably not, because people are people, but it's painting a picture of a preferred future. All right, number 3, the third statement is your target statement. Now, lots of churches, organizations have a mission and a vision statement, but the next two aren't always present, but they need to be for alignment. So your target statement answers who we are for. Who are we for? Right? Not everyone in your city is your target. Now, is everyone in your city a believer? No. Do we want to reach every single lost person in our city, in our community? Yeah, of course we want to do that. However, listen, we're talking about the church, the organizational aspect of this. Individually, we can go reach anybody we want. We can go run as far away from God to reach people who have run even farther. I mean, we can chase down people. However, we're really not talking about those people who are so far away from God that they're never going to even ask a question about faith, darken the door of a church, watch anything online, look at your Instagram page. I mean, so when we think about it organizationally, who are we actually for? And not everyone in our community is going to be served directly by your church yet. So, who is your mission designed to reach and develop? That's a great question. Healthy churches, they can describe their who with precision. So let me give you an example. Non-believers, this could be your who statement, your target statement. We target non-believers who need to find Jesus and followers ready to grow spiritually. So if we take that mission statement I used earlier to to help people find and follow Jesus, maybe this is the who for that mission. We're trying to reach non-believers who need to find Jesus and followers who are ready to grow spiritually. Now here's the fourth statement, last one. This is our strategy statement. This answers how we're going to do what we're going to do. So how we're going to do kind of our why, our mission. This is really where clarity meets execution. A lot of times we'll tag this onto the back of a mission statement because it answers the how question to the why we exist statement. So what is your plan to move people from where they are to where God wants them to be? So for instance, you could say a mission statement might be, we inspire and equip people to follow Jesus. How? By taking incremental steps along their spiritual journey. So maybe your entire strategy statement would be, we inspire and equip people to take incremental steps along their faith journey. Go. Those are the 4 statements. You got them? 4 statements. Your mission statement, your vision statement, your target statement, your strategy statement. And you may have noticed these are not theological filters, okay? But they are ministry filters. And another topic for another day, but ministry and theology are not the exact same thing. And they are definitely connected, but they're not the same thing. So these 4 statements, they really are alignment tools. That's why I called them alignment statements. They're alignment tools. They define direction, they certainly shape decisions, and they serve as a lens through which every ministry, every meeting, and every message is evaluated. And when those 4 statements stay out front and center, not publicly, but these are more internal statements, right, for us, our core volunteers, our staff, any of those kinds of people. Well, here's what's going to happen when people understand those 4 statements, when they can own them. Any kind of chaos you have is going to give way to clarity. Disunity is going to become unity because of a better direction. And maybe the best thing, the pressure is going to start to lift. So, we're going to be real practical here. So how can you apply this, right? How do you apply these 4 things? Well, let me just give you 2 very simple steps that you can take this week. If you're a church with some staff members, just grab a few of them, maybe 5. If you're a church that just is more volunteer driven, that's okay. Grab a couple of elders and a couple of your kind of core volunteers, people who you kind of think of as maybe even lay staff. Ask those people to describe your church's mission and vision in their own words. And if you're really bold, ask them to define how you accomplish it. If they can answer that, and if everyone's answer kind of aligns, Congratulations. Well, first, you're in a very limited club and you are building clarity and building alignment. That's fantastic. However, if you're like most of us, they're probably not going to align that well. So if they don't, good news, you've just identified your next leadership opportunity. And if you do realize that this is an opportunity, here's your next step. Just create like a 3-minute clarity moment for everyone who needs clarity on the mission, vision, target, and strategy. It could be in your next staff meeting or a volunteer meeting or an elder meeting or probably all of those, right? Take some time to restate your mission and your vision and your target and your strategy. If they aren't clear, definitely take some time to write them down and create immense clarity around why you exist. What does the preferred future look like? Who are we trying to do this thing for? And how are we going to do it? Like, be very, very clear about that. And you probably know this, right? Clarity doesn't just happen one time. It's built through repetition. So you may say it once and remember it because, by the way, you may have crafted it. You're going to have to say it a lot for everybody around you to own it to the level that you do. But that's the goal. So the more that you communicate it, right, the more that the people around you will internalize it. And the more they're going to, the more they internalize it, the more your church is going to move kind of together in unison, which is a beautiful thing. In fact, that's really how intentional leadership relieves pressure and multiplies effectiveness. So, really quick, if this episode conversation has helped you, I'd love for you to share it first with a pastor friend, maybe who's feeling some of this pressure or has expressed some kind of misalignment, frustrations. And for you, if you're ready to kind of take some more steps towards intentional leadership, I'd love for you to go to gavinadams.com. Every month, I offer a pastoral roundtable for pastors just like you who are trying to be more intentional with their mission. I also offer leadership labs. These are deeper dives where we take one topic and spend 4 or 5 sessions to really, really, really maximize our potential.